Awesome. So it's 12:05. Richard, are we good to begin?
Hi, Estelle. So I think we can start. We have about 13 people online. I'm sure a few are joining, so we can proceed and then others joining along the way.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well on this fine, hot Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to day 7 of the training for the MTN Ayoba MoMo Accelerator 2022. You have made it this far and you should be super proud of yourselves. So today's training is particularly exciting, especially for me, and I'm sure it will be for you too, because this is going to focus on how to, teach you how to properly pitch your ideas to a panel of judges in the coming days. So today's facilitator is going to be none other than Winnie. Dzidonu. You all know Winnie. So Winnie is going to be our facilitator today. So just a bit of background before I allow her to come in. Winnie is the senior manager for digital platforms for MTN Ghana. She has worked, aside MTN, she has worked with companies like Digicel and other digital companies over her career. So help me welcome Winnie for today's session. And kindly remember to put your microphones on mute while the presentation is going on. And yeah, have fun. And please ask questions. Thank you. Winnie, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Winnie. We can hear you and we can see your screen.
Okay, awesome. All right, so hi, everyone. So I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Winnie Dzidonu. Uh, so Estelle and I are the primary people at MTN Ghana that manages Ayoba. So throughout this process and throughout your journey, in the future, if you are working with us or adding additional micro app or growing or scaling your product, um, we will be the ones you'll be interacting with. So today, what I'll be going through with you is going to be super interactive. I might go back and forth from the screen just to see who's on the call to call you out if you don't volunteer. But what I prepared is one slide, and I'm going to walk you through each step of the way, right? So here we go. So when or pitching, so just remembering the rules. To get to the pitch stage of this competition, we must first have our product on production. So that means you now have it on the developer platform. You have to test everything from end to end, make sure it works. Because a part of your pitch will be a demonstration, so it needs to work, right? So the first thing is starting with a story. So about explaining the problem. So in my previous life, I also worked at a startup. That's where I started my career. And it was super important for me to be able to understand our story, like who were we helping? Who had the problem? So we were building a mobile money app in Jamaica, and we knew that our target was specifically to SMBs, not even SMBs, like market women, right? So the story was there's a market woman, she keeps being extorted because she has a lot of cash on her, and she's not able to make the profits from her business. So with this solution, we're partnering with the municipality or with the area that manages like the different markets. We're getting all of them mobile money wallets so that customers can now do their shopping versus using mobile money. And this is to then help to increase their their credibility, get them into the financial system. So we had a story. There was a persona. There was a person who we were helping. So when it is that you start your pitch with us, it's super important that you start off with that story. Not so much just a screen with a persona to say, hey, this is Jane. She's 5'10". We don't want the description or the demographics of the person, but an explanation of their scenario and what it is that you're trying to solve for this person. So I would like a volunteer from the call. Please put your hands up. Estelle will pick the first person. And if you don't put your hands up, Estelle will just pick someone random. And I would like you to share with us your story for your micro app.
Okay, so I'm just great. Precious hands is up. Precious, you have been picked as a lucky volunteer. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
so good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So 1 minute, what's your story?
Okay, so in this economy, our recent economy, you can see that there's a lot of problem in the agricultural industry. That is, the rising post-harvest loss in our nation, and this is as a result of farmers not getting access to wider markets because they 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 actually face problems with um having marketing problems with the middlemen who go into the hinterlands to get the farm produce to the urban centers. So we as a startup is trying to give the farmers a wider market and also give consumers also farm produce irrespective of their location. So it's like the consumer is able to get farm produce from our platform. So we are actually giving them a web application to boost their confidence in getting farm produce irrespective of their location, and also farmers the chance to get the 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 result of their hard work by contributing to the price of which the farm produce is sent into the market. Yeah, so that's what we do actually.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Precious. So that's a perfect example of an elevator pitch. But I want us to go a little bit deeper. Um, so it's either we're gonna take it from the problem of the consumer. So like today, right? Or like 2 nights ago at 1 a.m. in the morning, I couldn't sleep. And I realized I ran out of eggs. And I went on Glovo and I found out that I could go use Glovo to get products from Medina Market. I couldn't get it same day, so like the Glovo guy just came at 10 o'clock a while ago to deliver. So I'm a working mother. I don't have time to go to the market, but then I could go on Glovo. I could select Medina Market, and I can now order eggs, avocado, spinach, whatever they have there. They even had beef, but I didn't trust the beef. And the Global Rider just took it to me. So that's from the consumer perspective. And that's in my mind is painting the picture of what's the story. I'm a mother, I'm tired, I'm working, I have this huge problem, I can't go to the market, I don't have time. Or is it from the farmer side? I'm a farmer, there's these middlemen, they're cheating me. By the time I get paid, I don't have enough to grow crop again, blah, blah, blah. So I would recommend that you pick one, in essence, like when you're describing the problem, or you try and describe the problem not by telling me what your solution to the problem is, because you told me you're developing a web this, web that, but that's the next step. I want to really understand what the plight is of either the supplier or the user of your product. Is that fair? Precious.
It's absolutely fair. Hello,
Okay.
I hope you can
So
hear me,
when you
Winnie.
start your pitch, I want everybody to, yeah, I've heard you. Okay. So when you start your pitch, before you even get into your problem statement and all of those rigid things, I think it's important for you to almost get empathy from the judges, get buy-in, get them to say, oh yeah, this thing is a problem. Yeah, they could even identify with themselves that, yeah, this is a problem that I can also face, and then whatever solution he comes up with, yeah, maybe it will be interesting to me. And then when we're talking about the source, one of the things the judges is looking out for, especially for you, but is it big enough? Like, is this a big enough problem that needs solving? Is it worth solving it? Or is it just something like one or two farmers in the north that have this small issue, and then there's one or two people in Accra? Is it big enough to actually be worth the time and effort that you're putting in? So you also have to ensure that you, as you said, you show how big it is. So you start small. You start with, this is Winnie. She's overworked. She's tired. She needs eggs, or she needs carrots, whatever the case may be. Um, there's no way for her to get up in the middle of the night to get it, whatever the story is. But then bring it broader to see how many people are having this kind of problem, to show that it's a big enough problem. And then from the farmer side, how do you do that as well? Now we talk about other solutions to solving the problem, and where is the gap? So in your scenario, I spoke about like Glovo. I use Glovo to do it. I didn't even know I could till like a few nights ago. But what's the gap? Like for me, the gap is that I couldn't get it the day I ordered. I had to wait an additional day. So maybe your gap is like you're gonna do it faster. Maybe you're gonna do it fresher. Um, Maybe it's cheaper because uh, it's coming straight from the market, the farmer. So there's no middle people. So what are other people doing, and where's the gap that you see in their solution before you even start saying, this is how I've solved it? Is there any hands up so far? Do you have any questions?
If you have any questions so far, can you put your hand up and then you can go.
Nice.
Okay, no hands up.
All right. So then you talk about your solution. So you can see from now, like the first slide or first two slides, you're not talking about what you've done, how you solved it, what your product is, how amazing it is. It's not about you. And it's super important that in our pitches, we ensure that we focus on the customer, the end user, and their problem. So now we've talked about their problem, we've given a story, we've gotten empathy, we've gotten buy-in from the judges. They know that your problem is real. We now talk about how other people are solving the problem. Where are their gaps? Then now you can say, okay, based on these gaps and the fact that this is still an issue, this is my solution. And some of the things the judges will want to be thinking about is, does it scale? Because Ayoba is across Africa and also across the world. So yes, you could launch this in Ghana, but how can you scale it to another country? Can you scale? Can you scale it to Nigeria? Apologies. Is there a segment of your product? So let's say Precious's solution has a community that talks about healthy living. I'm making this up, right? So maybe in the holistic, that we don't yet have farmers in Nigeria, and we don't yet have customers in Nigeria. But we can engage people in a community that's talking about this healthy living, talking about farm to plate, talking about organic farming, talking about recipes. Maybe that's a segment that you could now launch into a different market and scale your product until you get the farmers and you get the feet on the ground and you get more people to start having products and customers in those different regions. So how do you show that your solution is scalable? All right, so this one will be kind of different from other pitches, but why is Ayoba a good fit for your micro app? So it's important because a lot of what we'll be doing after the competition is we'll be working with you to promote it, to push it, to help you get a reach or get access to the persons on Ayoba. So it's important for you to seriously think about and communicate why you believe that based on Ayoba, based on the fact that it's customer or individual focus, why is it that you feel like it's a good platform for what it is you're trying to sell or push or educate people on? Then we speak about your business model. So yesterday we did our business cases, but to do a business case, you first need to know where your money is coming from. Like, who will be paying for your product? How much they will be paying for your product? Is it the consumer that is paying? Are you charging an additional fee to the farmers? Bad example. Well, are you charging for advertising? How how is it that you'll be making money? Why is this important to us at MTN and Ayoba? Not because we're doing revenue splits with you, but one of the issues we've seen businesses have is they get started, but because they don't have a means of making money, they can't pay for their hosting or they can't pay to maintain their team, and they can't keep afloat. And then the solution, even though it's an amazing product and customers are interested in it, uh, it it cannot be sustained. So one of the things that is super important for you to communicate is what your plan is or how your business has been making money and what model it's been using to do so. All right, awesome. Thank the team. All right. So usually, when we're doing demos, one person comes up, he talks about the product, and he's the face of the business. It's very important to us to understand your team. So because this is virtual, this is one of the times that you have the opportunity for everyone to log on to the call, even if it's one or two people talking through the presentation. The judges will have the ability to ask. You said, all right, this is my technical guy, this is my marketing guy, this is my design guy. These people could be in 5 different locations in reality, but on the call, everyone can be there to speak about what they bring to the table. In most situations, when we spoke about investing yesterday, when you're having these conversations about building a product or building a business, the team is the most important aspect. Without a solid team or having the competencies required to build and grow and scale a business, a lot of times the business will not survive. And what we're trying to do here is to support startups, to support businesses on their journey as they launch with us and as they grow and scale on the platform. So we are investing our time, effort in you as a team, as a business, as a company. So we really want to understand and know who we are working with, who the different persons are, and what they bring to the table. And last but definitely not least is the demo. I think Adam was asking yesterday, like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make it personal? How is it going to work? So I was thinking about it, and there are 2 ways to do the demos. You can use tools such as Draw That Screen if you want to project on your laptop, or you can simply just log in to the call with your phone and project. So is everybody clear on how you would do that, or should I go through an example?
You can kindly unmute and speak if you'd want Winnie to just take an example. Is that okay with everyone? Tijani, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I would like to ask How many minutes are we supposed to pitch? The duration. Thank you very much.
Great question. So right now we're considering 10 minutes to pitch and 5 minutes to demo with 5 minutes for questions from the
Thank you
judges.
very much. Thank you very much. Well understood.
Any other questions?
Francis has his hand up. Francis, please go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Wait, Francis, we can't hear you there. Hello, Francis. We can barely hear you. We can just hear a lot of background noise. Yes, Francis, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Please, I would like you to elaborate on the business model and also on your solution because you made reference to other solutions too as well. So if you can elaborate on these solutions for me, I'll be glad.
Okay, thanks, Francis. I think Winnie, Francis wants you to elaborate on the business model and also go into like an example. Francis, send a note on the chat if I got your question correct, because we could barely hear you. Winnie, over to you. Winnie.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
so
Can you hear
Francis
me?
wants you to so Francis wants you to elaborate on the business model and also give an example. Francis, please confirm in the chat if I got your question right. And then Winnie can go ahead. But Winnie, you can start with the business model bit.
Okay, so from my background, right? So how I would approach coming up with your business model is to consider either using lean canvas or business model canvas to come up with how it is that you're planning to actually make money from your product. So in that, some of the things you'd think about is what are your key partners? Who are you? Who are your key partners? Who are your key suppliers? Um, what are your key resources? And then you'll think about what are your key activities that you'll be doing. What are your distribution channels? What are your revenue streams? I think I'll send a screenshot in the chat group of how you can do like a business model canvas. Once it is that you have sat down and thought through all of these things, your key resources, your value proposition, your customers, once you've sat down and thought about all these things as it relates to your product, then you can come back and say, okay, for me, so one of the things people like this question was asked at me 20 times last year. How do you plan to make money from this? Like, you build this solution. How will you generate a profit? When will you have profit? When will you break even? So these are some of the questions the judges asked last year. And the responses were not fully thought out. So one team said, oh, it was a great solution. I'd like to point that out. It was a food thing. It was for recipes. So you were able to get recipes on the different regions. I loved it, But the question was, yeah, you've given all of this information. You now have recipes from all the different regions, but how do you make money out of it? And I think the question to the contestant by surprise, right? So he was trying to now figure it out on the stage. And then at the end of it, I think the answer he came up with was okay, but it wasn't solid. So his response at the time was that he'll do YouTube videos to actually cook the meals, and then he'll grow a following on YouTube. And then when he gets to the 1,000 views, he will then start being paid by YouTube. this would take some time to actually develop, and you wouldn't necessarily start off with a micro app which would then have recipes. That might not have been where you would have started your journey if this was how you were going to generate generate revenue. You probably would have just started with a YouTube channel and started creating your following, and then from there pull people into your micro app. Now that you're generating a following and you generating revenue. So then the question is, what this is to prepare. So the questions you should be able to answer at this business model section. You don't necessarily have to have a section called business model, but it's really asking the question, how do I make money? How do I sustain my team? How do I keep this business afloat until it's where it needs to be? So your solution could be, I have grant funding and it will take me to this period of time, or I'm collecting a commission from the farmers, and I'm also collecting a commission from the riders. That's how I'm making money. So I hope that answers your question.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you very
Francis,
much.
does
It's
that
been
answer
answered
your
by Lewis.
question?
Yes, by Lewis, the
Yes.
first,
Can you give clarity on the
the
second?
second and the third one I just asked, which is
Yeah. We
hello,
couldn't hear you, so can you come again on the second one
hello.
and the third one? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was saying
actually,
that
I
we
was.
couldn't hear. Francis, please go ahead and ask the second question again.
Thank you very much. I just said earlier that I wanted you people to still elaborate on other solutions and also your solutions as you presented. So I couldn't get it well. That is point 2 and 3. Whether over there I'm to do competitive analysis over there with my competitors, or I don't get it right. That is why I said maybe you can elaborate on those 2 points.
So I think I've heard you. So are we going back to other solutions to the problem and what is the gap?
Yes,
Yeah. So usually this can be represented in a simple table. You can show at the top what your competitors are. So I'm not asking you for a SWOT analysis. You can just show what your competitors are, what features they are providing, or how to solve the problem that is at hand, and then necessarily show where the gap is. So you can do it two ways. You can show where the gap is, or you can show what you're providing and that you have what they have, and that you have that additional thing that you believe is missing to solve the customer's complaints or issues. Does that answer?
yes, madam. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I think we
Any
have. Yes, Precious. Precious, please go ahead. Precious, please go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, okay. I was talking, but I think I was muted. So, my question is that, when is the pitch?
Wednesday?
That's tomorrow, right?
No, next week. It should be next week, Monday, but I believe that I, there might, because of the issues you guys had in getting on the development environment, I would like to give some leeway in case there are any issues in getting into production. Um, so tentatively Wednesday, but originally planned for Monday next week.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, please. I I hope you've understood that we're trying to help as many people as possible. So our deadlines are quite fixed, but we've tried to be lenient in terms of issues and kind of supporting you guys as much as possible. So that's why we haven't communicated the date firmly, because on Thursday of this week is when you are being asked to publish your micro apps. So you should be doing the testing now, ensuring that it works as expected on the development environment. You should then be requesting on Thursday that it be published to production. The team will work on it on Friday, and you'll have the weekend to test and review. But if there are any issues and concerns, because our team doesn't work on the weekend, um, you might be at the demo Monday morning with an issue. So I think we may move it to Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Yes. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes. I wanted to find out how many pages are we required? Is this should it be some page specific, or we can publish as long as you want?
As in your PowerPoint?
Yes, please. Yes, concerning the PowerPoint.
No. We're
Oh,
not
okay.
limiting you. So last year we gave a template. It had around 4 slides. You had your problem, the concept, your solution, the technology, and the demo. I think that was 5 slides. We can share the same template this year, but it's just the headings. However, what is the concern is the time you have to make the presentation, which is 10 minutes. So if you do 50 slides on the 10-minute mark, you will be asked to do your demo.
Okay. And also, how would the typical demo look like?
Okay. So let me share my screen on Teams, on Google. Escape. And show. Call. Stop sharing. Mm-hmm. Richard, can you give me permission?
Winnie, I think your screen. Okay, did you join with your phone?
Repeat?
Did you join with your phone? Your screen went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I pressed leave by mistake. Apologies.
Stanley, we'll come to you shortly. I see your hands are up. Let's just Winnie answer Kweku's question and then we'll come to you.
Okie dokie. Hopefully, you guys are better at this than I am. So start sharing. Okie dokie. Here we go. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Winnie Dzidonu, and I have a micro app on Ayoba. Bam, shika, bam, bam. My micro app is called MTN Heritage App. She's actually a micro app I worked on, surprisingly. All right, so my micro app is super spectacular. You guys will come to understand that I say the word awesome a lot. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary. And we have several features. We have our home screen where you get a view of all the products and services that we have. We have our article section. Oh, sorry, the survey just popped up because user feedback is super important to us, and we want to ensure that we understand what our users wants and needs are. So we have a survey that pops up for new users and users that have read some of our articles. So here you can see our different articles. We also have video articles, and we also have events. So these are the features that we have. So let's just go through. So for one of my articles, experts to the Serengel War, super detailed. This war was like the most amazing thing. Estelle, do you agree? So you
No.
go through and you talk about your product, whatever it is. You know, we also have videos in my micro app, and the videos are top notch, high quality, high definition. And then even on our videos, some of our videos they go to YouTube, and then you can play the video if that's what you're into. So it's just about projecting your solution, talking about your features of your solution, showing it working in production as a micro app on Ayoba, and speaking about what customers will be using your solution to do. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you.
No problem.
But
Thanks.
oh, sorry.
Yasmin, let's take a question from Stanley and then we can come to you, please.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Stanley, yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please. My questions. I have two questions. Okay. First is, for me, the nature of the solution that we are providing, the team members are, I should say, they are not very, they are not able to really articulate themselves very well, in English. So I don't know if, during the the pitch, whilst you say that you're also going to have to interview some of them, if some of the judges will, um, communicate to them in Tree, most often. That is for, some of the team members. That is one. And the second question is, the the pitch deck and then the demo that we are supposed to, which is supposed to be ready hopefully by next week Wednesday. Are we supposed to finish it and then forward it to you before the Wednesday? And if we are to do that, when should that one also be done? Thank you.
All right, great question. So I think one of our judges speaks Tree, but it will not be everyone. Some of our judges are from South Africa, from the in Ayoba team, and they do not speak our local languages. You will have to have a main presenter, and most of the questions can be directed to that person, and you can just make a note to say what the other team members roles are and what they do as a part of the team, and why it is that them not speaking English is not a barrier for your product. It should be fine. Plus, Ayoba has several, like over 25 languages, so our content is not limited to English. Just that our judges might be. I hope that answers your question. Or do you need any further clarity?
Yeah, it does. But, again, is the second, question I asked, that, if we are supposed to, forward our pitch deck.
Please forward it by Monday. because we
The
might,
project.
in case you have technical difficulties, we might have to present it for you. So it'd be good if you send it to us by Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And can I come in a bit, please? Who should we send it to?
We'll provide an email in the chat group.
Okay.
Richard, you can post your email here, and then we'll post it again in the chat group in case persons have missed.
Hello, Winnie.
Oh, are we not going by hands anymore?
No, it's
I
like
think Yasmin wanted to come in some time back, but okay, go ahead, Precious.
oh, okay. I just it's a follow-up question to what he asked. That's why.
Okay, please go.
Okay. So I want to ask. So does it mean all your team members should be on the call when you are pitching?
How many team members do you have? Is it like 10?
No. They are just 3. So I was asking if they should all be on the
Yeah.
call.
It'd be nice. We'd like to meet your team, know who you
Okay.
are.
Oh, okay.
Because what we're doing is we're building a relationship with you guys. I hope you can see that. All the persons that have trained you, except for one, are not external to MTN or Ayoba. And this was carefully done so that when you're working with us in the future, you can say, oh, yeah, Winnie, I know Winnie, or Benedict, who you'll meet tomorrow. He's responsible for EBD and the small businesses and all the packages that MTN has outside of the bundles. So it's super important for you to have this network moving forward for your businesses. And so we're trying to be more available. Yasmin was supposed to come in before Tijani, or Tijani.
Yeah, my network went off for a bit. Yasmin, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay,
Actually,
thank you very much.
yeah, Tijani, I think you can go. My question was later answered. I was wondering during your demo that you didn't tell us the problem you were solving, but then I realized you were just doing the demo part and not the pitch, the overall pitch. So that would be all. Thank you. But it would be nice to hear the problem that was being solved. I think it's a great app and I've seen it. But that would be nice to know out of interest.
Okay. Let me take that one. So my water is finishing. So the problem we're solving is actually an internal problem. So MTN, we support our local chiefs in Ghana quite a bit. At MTN, we support a lot of people. We give back. We have the foundation. We support STEM. We build schools for girls. So one of the things we do is we support our culture. So there was a like someone in our business at the time. He's no longer with us, Eric. He was really passionate about this as a problem, and there was an app which was the Heritage app, which was a standalone application. At the time, we didn't have the capacity. So right now, I manage the platform team, which is a part of the larger digital team. But when Estelle and I joined a year and a half ago, the digital team, which managed 4 apps at the time, only had 4 people. So what that meant is that we didn't have the capacity to manage several different applications and grow them in parallel. So having identified that, the decision was made to remove the Heritage app from the App Store and put it as a part of the Ayoba app to still drive the content, still support our local culture, and providing that information and context and to our consumers without having to manage a bigger solution. So as I said, it was driven by an internal need, not so much by an external. So that was a problem we were solving, which is not how you should solve problems. Please do.
Right. I get it now. I get it. Thank you. I get that now. Thank you.
Yeah. Tijani. Yeah, Tijani, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I want to find out about the demo. Is it like you record a video of yourself explaining your micro app, or how? I want to find out how the demo is like. Or you have to open the app, then you'll be explaining the parts of the app live to the judges, or how? Can you please break it down for me? Thank you very much.
Yes, please. So if you want, okay, what we want is for you to open the app and go through it. But to be on the safe side, I would record myself doing it in case I have a technical issue on the day. So I have a backup. But that should be a backup. It shouldn't be how you do it. So I've seen people have recordings and try and talk over it, but then the recordings go too fast, and they end up sprinting through the demonstration because the person who created the video didn't do it like thinking through how someone will talk over it. So that's always a risk. So I think you should manage your risk. If you're in an area that has a poor network, do a video, but do it well. If you can ensure that you are positioned in a place where you have good internet and can do your deck presentation. So if you're not able to do it, please speak to your hub, see if they can facilitate you. Then we expect it to be live. I'm dying here. Any other questions?
So, Winnie, there's a hand from Isa.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yes.
good afternoon, Isa. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry, I wanted to ask, I don't know if this has been said, but I wanted to ask for if we could get a clear explanation of the timelines of the series of activities that will be coming on.
Yeah, great question. So Thursday the 15th is your deadline to select that publish button in Ayoba, developer.ayoba.me, where you will request that we publish your micro app into production. This will give the team Friday, similar to what we did last week, to do vetting and reviewing your micro app before publishing it into the production environment. I'm suggesting that we have the demo the following Wednesday. That will give the team time to test their micro app on production, ensure it works as expected, and also give feedback and any answers that might have blocked their micro app going into production. On Wednesday, the 21st, we will do demonstrations to the judges for our Expert Choice Award. This will be virtual. You will have 10 minutes to make a presentation, 5 minutes to do a demonstration, and 5 minutes to respond to questions from the judges. After this point, all teams that have been able to get their micro app into the production and do their demo will be provided with a QR code, which will link directly to your micro app. This is for the two other awards that we have. So we have the Expert Choice, which the prize is 20,000 Ghana cedis. The other two awards are the User's Choice or Most Liked Micro App, and also the Ayoba Influencer Award. For us to be able to track that your team or yourselves are what drove the traffic to your micro app, for you to get the likes, we will use this QR code. So if you tell someone, go on Ayoba, like my micro app, you could also win the most liked micro app. However, we wouldn't be able to track, so you wouldn't be in the runnings of winning the MTN, the influencer award. So I hope it's clear. There are several awards. One that is user driven, one that is expert driven, one that is acquisition driven, and one for MoMo. So we don't speak a lot about it, but there is a best MoMo solution. So teams that have been able to integrate mobile money into their solution, there's a 20K award for that. CDs, 20,000 CDs award, and then there's the Hub award separate. So those are the timelines. Those are the rewards. And Elvis has left the meeting. Okay, great. Any other? Do you need any more clarity? Oh, and after
Yes.
that, you have 2 weeks. Yasmin?
Sorry, the timeline wasn't clear for the different elements.
Okay, awesome. So we will not be having the award ceremony till January. Estelle, can you remind me of the date in January?
20th January.
20th January. So you would have
20th January.
Friday, 20th January. So after the demo, you would have a month less 1 day to push, promote, galvanize, introduce, excite people about your product on Ayoba before the rewards, before the user choice award and the Ayoba influencer award winners are selected. The expert choice award will be selected based on your demo on the 21st of December. Also, the best MoMo solution will also be selected on Wednesday, the 21st, which is next week, Wednesday. However, the winners will be made aware and awarded on the 20th of January. Yes. Any more questions? Yasmin, was that clear?
That's clear now. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Tijani, please ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much.
Put
So
it in
if
there.
I
But please, sorry, Tajani, but please, could you also put that in the on the platform?
Yes, we will.
Thank you. All right, there you go, Tajani.
Okay, thank you very much. So if I get it clear, on the 21st of December, there will be 2 hour ceremonies. That is the best Momo and the express choice. So my question then comes in with us who have Momo, who will be using the Momo API. So as of now, the first meeting, I quite remember we were told we'll be assigned to a hub to help us get the certifications in order to register for the API. And as of now, I've not seen anything. So I want to find out if how the team is going to tackle that issue, because some of us have the Momo, some of us will be needing the API for the integration into our
So
app.
quick question, which hub are you? So I wasn't there that first day. I'm wondering, I'm still confused about, because you said this at least 3 times. Unless I'm incorrect. You've said this before. Which hub are you a part of?
Currently, I'm not assigned to any hub. My team, we are working privately. I'm not assigned to anyone.
I think that's probably where the confusion is. We spoke to different hubs, and I think I said this before, and the hubs will be supporting the persons that are a part of their hub. And if you're not a part of the hub, the requirements for the competition is that you must be established at least 1 year on your own. So we are not assigning hubs to people. What the basis of this how we approach this competition this year was to work with the hubs, with the teams that have already been supported by them, and to
Hello.
Winnie, can you hear us? I think you dropped off. Winnie?
I think she's off. Her line is
Okay.
off.
Um, Okay, so just till she comes back, like she was saying, we are not assigning people to hubs. So the approach that we took this year is to work with the different hubs in Ghana to create like some sort of long lasting relationship with them. Because the Ayoba platform is open to, all third parties to come on board with their micro apps to, be able to reach our customers. And also, the competition is open to individual businesses as well who want to go, enter the accelerator on their own with their solutions. So, to answer your question, no, nobody, you, since you're an individual business, getting your certification is a requirement as part of, being able to get the merchant number and everything to use the MoMo APIs, because currently Bank of Ghana requires that, a business is registered before they can use since we are recognizing you as merchants, before you can use the Momo APIs. So that's one. And then also at the beginning of your question, I heard you mention that on the 21st of December, we have the awards ceremony for Best Momo um, solution. No, that's not it. We mentioned that the final awards ceremony is on the 20th of January, where we'll be giving out all the awards. So not on the 21st of December, but on the 20th of January, which is an in-person ceremony, which will allow you to also network with all the stakeholders that have been involved in this accelerator since, the beginning. So that is where all the awards will be giving off, not the 20th of December. Okay, so I think Winnie is back. I'll let her continue what she was saying. Winnie, can you hear us now?
yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
what did you say?
No, I was just completing what you're saying about we working with the hubs and why we're choosing to do that. And also that individual businesses are also, welcome on board to join in the accelerator as we have. And also I corrected the fact that the award ceremony is not on 21st December, like you mentioned at the beginning, but it's on the 20th of January. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that now clear, guys? Award ceremonies in January. The judges will review your entries on the 20. Will review you in December. However, awards will be presented in January. So the question is,
Thank you
have
very
you
much.
made the application, Tijani, for are you a registered business?
Currently, no.
Okay.
But we
Are
have
you
plans
trying
to.
to be registered?
Yeah,
You have plans.
yeah,
So
we
the
have plans to
problem is
register them.
the problem with us is that Momo is heavily regulated. I think Herman would have spoken to this on the first day. That's why we had Herman on the call for the first day. He manages Momo Open APIs. He manages the Momo app. That's his day to day. When you send in a request on the platform for Open APIs, he's the one that reads it. As we said, we're trying to bring the people who you need to your doorstep. Um, he's on the chat group. You can talk to him. Right. I think he even put his Slack or whatever Skype information. He's very available. However, we can't go against regulations, right? So if the regulation says you need to be a registered business, then there's nothing Herman can do. However, have you had the conversation with Herman about this issue? Because I think you brought it up the last time, and I said, chat to Herman on the group. Has that happened?
Not yet, not yet. So I will
Okay,
do that right after this meeting.
please don't. I still can tell you, I'm a very hard woman. I'm like this to everyone, so please don't take it personally. But you have to do your part. Like, we are here to support everyone. We're here to help you, but you have to reach out, and you have to, yeah. If you have a problem with the app, speak to Dylan. If you have a merchant ID and you want to just use that, so you don't want to have your own OVA and all that drama, speak to Shaheen. He'll be able to set you up so that you can use Ayoba on Rails. You can use the Ayoba payment APIs. The requirements for that is much less. If you want to go hardcore and integrate the MoMo APIs for disbursements and collections, then your guy is Herman. Um, those three people should be your best friends for life as long as they are with the team. This is what they do. They support businesses in being onboarding with both MoMo and onto the Ayoba marketplace. Uh, if you have an issue or questions about promoting your micro app while it's live, Estelle and I are here if you want us to work with you on your growth strategy as to how you're going to grow your product. We work in hand with Antoine. So Yasmin is on the call, and I think Amma was on our previous call. So they have channels in Ayoba right now. They don't have micro apps, but we've worked with them over the course of this year to grow their channel. So different people have different roles, but we're here to support you. But you have to reach out to the right person with the right question. And then there's Richard.
Please, what did
Richard's
you say? Okay, sorry to interrupt. Please, what did you say his name is?
Herman.
Herman. Okay.
Herman. Herman.
Her.
Man. Herman.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I checked on the members group, but his name is not there.
Estelle, I'm not hearing anything. Is it me or is it Kweku?
Please, it seems his name is not on. He's not on the Ayoba platform.
Herman is there. Just type. He's there. Just say hi, Herman. I think the person who added him didn't have that number saved. So he has multiple numbers. So, but he's there. If you trust me, just say hi, Herman. He'll respond.
Um, Abdul, do you want to go? Abdul Rauf.
Good afternoon, please. Please, my question is, as of now, I've not been able to publish my app on the Ayoba developer platform yet. So, do I still have a chance?
Hi, Abdul. So currently, no, you will not have a chance to continue in this competition, but I would recommend that you continue to work with the team in getting your app published on the developer app, and the team will continue to work with you to grow your product and your business. But based on the rules, I don't think it would be fair to keep taking people on at this point into the developer app for the competition. But did you have an issue doing it, or is it that you just weren't ready on time?
Okay, I have ready them, but I had an issue uploading it. I wasn't able to do it on
Maybe I
time.
can use. If I have to pay the person, then I'll pay.
Sorry, you were having an issue. Are you a part of the chat group? Because I think Dylan was asking persons to send an email with the information if you were having difficulties. This continued all the way until Monday. We were still accepting the email option. Uh, yeah, so short answer is no. At this point, I don't think it would be fair to keep taking applications into the developer for the competition. However, we will continue to work with you to help get your app into the Ayoba Play Store. I think Yasmin said she had a question.
Yeah, Yasmin, please go ahead and then we'll take a question from Jima.
Thank you. Going to the being a merchant and the MoMo element of this. On the application form, it asked if you had a MoMo merchant number, if I recall. And I said no, I think we don't. Or if we do, it hasn't been activated. And then it took me to another link and I filled in my details and all the rest of it. I'm still not clear because I gave my own number. So I'm still not clear about the MoMo element. But of course, we do have that strategy to be able to sell things on the micro app in the medium to short term. And so I guess I need to have that conversation. Is that correct? Because it didn't let you had to, you couldn't just say no. After saying no, you had to, fill in some stuff. So I just want to clarify that element of what we're doing.
Okay, maybe there's a glitch on the form. So I think the options were are you planning to use MoMo? Yes or no? And if you said no, I think it should have just moved on to something else. However, if you had said yes, I plan to use MoMo, it would then ask you, do you have a MoMo merchant ID? And then if you didn't have one, it wasn't a required question because there's two options. You could either have the MoMo merchant ID. So I think what we need to do, is to have a additional session on MoMo. I think we should set it up. Maybe we can set it up we'll look at our calendar and we'll communicate based on the availability of Herman and Shaheen. And then that one can just be attended by persons who are still trying to integrate with MoMo, want access to the MoMo APIs, so that we can just have a Q&A and answer the questions that you may have in relation to MoMo with those two key persons on the call. So that's what I'm understanding from these questions, that there still needs to be some clarity. So Richard, can you just put that down as an action, and maybe instead of having the call tomorrow, on a topic we planned for, or on Thursday, I think was just supposed to be a generic Q&A, we can have it specific to MoMo.
Thank you.
Was there another hand?
Yeah, Jima, please unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Winnie, please, somebody asked a question that is not being answered. So the person puts it inside the chat. It was about the timeline for activities. I think if you could clearly spell it out for us, that would be very helpful. And secondly, regarding members of other teams of my hub that are not on the group chat, I updated the list you asked for, but nothing has been done yet. So I think you have to look at that for us, please. I think this is the short question and suggestion I have. Please.
Yeah, I'm trying to validate the numbers you shared actually. So I got them, and I think I asked you for the names. You gave me the names. So everyone who applied, their name is actually saved in my phone. So the amount of WhatsApp statuses I've had to mute, you'd be surprised. But for all the names that you sent me, these persons are not, they're not saved in my phone. So that means they didn't apply for the competition. So did someone else in their teams apply for the competition that were added to the chat group, and these are just additional people that needs to be added? I think that's my question.
I think the problem is for the registration on the Ayoba app, they did that late. They actually applied. Okay, I don't know. But and one thing was some of them use numbers from different networks for the application. I can remember somebody used a Vodafone number for the application. So, and it was later brought to the person's notice that you have to use an MTN number. That is why you don't have most of the numbers on your phone, please.
No, like Ayoba is an OTT app. You don't have to use an MTN number. So whatever number they would have applied with, they would have been
The
added.
person that passed the information to them did it to streamline everything so that once it is MTN, everything should be MTN. Yeah, just to keep things simple and straightforward. So some of them re-registered with
That's
their
fine. I just
MTN.
wanted to make that clarity because I don't want anybody to leave this call thinking Ayoba
Yeah.
is an MTN only product. That's why I'm making the
Yeah.
connection.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not specific to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Before the close of day, they'll be added to the group. As I said, my concern was simply these. I don't have these numbers registered, and for the yeah, we just had to align that to ensure that these people were actually a part of the accelerator, because we're almost 2 weeks in, and for them to not to have micro apps in the competition, to have gotten their app on the developer platform and not be in the group is quite amazing. So congratulations to them. But we just had to do our checks internally, seeing that we don't have their numbers as part of the application process. So just please bear with me and we'll get it done.
Okay. And the timeline of activities, please. Could you spell that out for us, please?
So I think I've done that 2 times in this call. So what we'll do is we'll document it. I think Richard will create some kind of artwork and share it with the team. Richard, can that be done by tomorrow? Just some clear timelines so that the participants can be very aware as to what we're doing. And we'll find another means. We'll also share it, I guess, in the call tomorrow. So that person's, if they're still not having it, they can get it, and we'll also put it on the channel. We'll blast it. We'll even put it on social media. It'll be there. He will work on it ASAP. So yeah. Precious.
Okay, so thank you, Winnie, for the presentation. And also, I have one question. I think mine is very technical. It's response to the publishing of the micro app. Okay, so the business, as in our business, is actually in process of being registered. But if you want to publish it, they're asking for the documentation of the business, but we haven't gotten it yet. So what do I do?
So, were you sure? I know for MoMo we asked for that, but Estelle, do we ask for that to publish a micro app on Ayoba?
Dylan would have to confirm, but I don't think so. Let me check if Dylan
Because
is on the call for a sec. Or maybe
yeah,
Shaheen.
because like or only one of our winners last year had a real business, which was Stripe.
Yeah.
Everyone else was just a startup or some guys developing. So it's not a requirement for Ayoba. It might be a requirement for MoMo. But we'll get Dylan to confirm that for you for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Precious, why you sound like you're not Ghanaian? Like you always sound like you're twanging. Like, is that like how you really talk? I just had to ask.
That's how I talk.
It's nice. It's nice. I've always wondered.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so am
Any
I
other
being answered
questions?
now or in the Ayuba page?
We'll find out. We're asking Dylan. We're a dynamic team. All your questions, if we don't have answers, we ask people and they'll answer. So just give us
Oh,
Estelle
okay.
is checking.
Okay, so
But it's not a
interestingly,
requirement.
I
Uh-huh.
I opened it right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to the page. I wanted to take a snapshot of it so that I can send to the page. But it looks like they're
That's
saying micro app already requested to be published.
mm-hmm. So
So
that
that's
means
what I
you're
see.
already now that means the team is vetting your work now even. So yeah, if
Okay.
anybody wants to publish their thing early, that's also open. That means the team will now review them and come back with any questions or concerns for vetting. The team being Ayoba, to be very clear. So they have their processes that have to go through before anything can hit production.
Okay, so they are processing it, right?
Yep.
Okay, okay. I get it now. Thank you.
Like I think like this is super amazing. Like usually these things take a few weeks. It because Ayoba is in so many different countries and it's one singular team supporting all the different micro apps going into production. I think last month the CEO told us that over 1,000 micro app went into production. So the team is really carving out time to support us to ensure that your products can go live. And if you have any issues there, you're being supported. So I think this is like a shortcut if you had intended to do this separately. Yeah, Winfred. I haven't seen you in a while. Hi, Winfred. Are you okay? I think he's okay. He's always joining with his phone. Any other questions?
There are no more hands up. Let me just check the chat.
Like, are other
Um,
people on the call? I hear from the same people every week or every day. Precious, Richard, Jima, Adam. I don't think Adam's here today. But like Crystal, are you here? Crystal Motions. Elvis. Have we heard from Elvis today? iSpace intern. I hope it's working out for you. Jerry, yeah, we hear from Jerry Quasi a lot, but the teams here, they're very silent, though. They don't talk. Oh, still won't talk.
Okay,
Hi, Crystal.
Winnie.
How are you?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not talking because I'm okay. What about you?
I'm also okay. Did you get your micro app into the dev portal?
Hello.
I'm asking what's your product?
Okay. I just checked my status and they are saying that I'm into photography.
Nice. And how has your experience been with the
Hello,
micro app?
Winnie. Yeah, yeah. I just checked my status and they are saying that the um is ready to be tested. So I wanted to ask that I don't know whether the APK file is only active on Android phones. Because I tried
Yes.
downloading it with my phone, iOS, and I'm not seeing anything. Yeah.
No, please. It's only Android.
I don't know how it runs. Yeah.
So, do you have an
Since you
Android
said,
phone? Do you have an Android phone? You have to test it on Android.
no, please.
Hmm. Okay.
No, please. Oh, okay. So currently it's only run on Android phone.
Yes, please. Only
Okay.
Android. Because even in production, the feature is not available on
Okay. Okay.
iOS.
Then
You
I'll.
can't do micro apps on iOS.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll test it on Android phone instead.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Estelle, I think we've gone
Okay. I
over
will do that.
time.
I will get an Android phone and test it and see.
Yeah, we've
All
gone
right.
over time, but
Thank you too.
we have one more
Hi.
hand up, so we can take that question and then we can go ahead. So Elvis, please ask your question and then we can move to close.
Yes, no, just to say that I just tested the APK on the Android. The OTP is not working. The
I think
verification system.
yeah, I think Shaheen mentioned that we're having OTP issues. So can you kindly drop a screenshot in the chat box and then Shaheen will pick it up? I think they resolved it
Okay.
last week. I'm not sure why it's not working. So just put it in our chat in Ayoba, and
All right.
then yeah, Shaheen will pick it up.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So Winnie, yeah, I guess we can close. There are no more hands up.
All right. So thanks everyone for your time. This and for going through this journey with us. We'll continue to support you in any issues you might be having. Tomorrow's presentation is going to be done by Benedict Bentel. So Benedict is a part of the EBD, the enterprise team here in Ghana. He works with our small businesses and startups to get them started on Ayoba. No, sorry, get them working with MTN. He also manages the mobile advertising, so he understands clearly what it takes to partner, and what the requirements are. So he'll be speaking to that and any legal or regulatory issues. So we'll come back to you about the MoMo conversation that we need to have as to a time and date. But tomorrow's about partnerships. As of now, is about partnerships and legal and regulatory. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for staying with us and have a good day.
Thank you, Winnie. Thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.